Hi, Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we're getting back into our latest series that we sort of took a break from during these summer months. We didn't get through the 10 things church pianists should practice. So we're up to number four, and number four is walking bass lines. I want to thank those who came and visited with us on our live stream. It ran about 5 hours last week, but now we're back into getting our projects which we wanted to work on to help musicians grow in their skill sets. So, number four, practice focus. The left hand often plays a walking bass line in shout music. Yes, I realize in today's band configuration, bass players don't like it when the other musicians start playing into their realm. Well, but from a practice standpoint, you need to develop an excellent left hand bass. Practice walking bass lines that move through the 1-4-5 progression, incorporating chromatic passing tones and octaves to add depth and movement. Now, there's an example that I have there, but I'm going to give you a little more of a hands-on look at it. As you see, the the bass hand or the left hand is the lowest note in any construction of music that you're going to be doing. So as you know, I'm very big on practicing scales, not just in the right hand, but in the left hand also. Because what this allows you to do is for your hearing to hear the lowest notes that are being audibly heard by you. Now, by chromatic notes, this is what they mean by chromatic notes, where you're going down each note in the scale degrees. Now, is there correct fingering that one would look at? I always say correct fingering when you're playing a major scale or a minor scale, but when you're doing chromatic notes, you want to get your fingers to the note that you want to hear. If you want to hear this jazz walk up run, so you see I'm using the fourth finger, second finger, first finger, second finger, thumb again, first finger. Now I can switch off and go. Depending upon what note I want to get to. But they're asking in this concept from a church standpoint is that you practice shout music. Now, shout music has its own, and I'll call them jazz bass runs. Everyone knows this one. The 1-3-4, sharp to 4, 5-6, sharp to 6, 7, and back to the 1. Now, I always go up, back down by the 1 or the 1, flat 7, 6, flat to 6, 5, 4, flat to 3, the 2, and the 1. Or whichever way I happen to be going. Now that's what I would practice as an actual youngster when I was learning the getting comfortable having my own bass scales, particularly for shouting music, because I didn't have an actual bass player on hand. So set a pattern, very basic. You don't want to rush it, and you want to be able to land on each note, staccato, which is I missed it. There it is. I'm looking at it. That's why I'm having trouble. I normally don't look. So that's the staccato feel. If you want to go legato, which means you're going to drag or you're going to hold the notes, then you do this. Kind of lazy. Now I have different patterns that I use. So whenever I practice just one or two patterns, my hand is like, okay, why are we still hanging on these two patterns? You know, you have 5 or 6 that you like to throw in there. The pentatonic pattern. That would be the 1, 4, 5 patterns, which are a jazz pattern. Let's practice that. 3, 4, and this is the 1, the 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. Again, I'm looking at it. Now that is the pattern that I am more familiar with using, to where it's actually going to float around the 1, 4, and the 5 patterns. Means it's going to go to the 6, it's going to go to the 2, eventually wind up at the 5, and then reside back to the 1. And of course, in the right hand, of course, I am giving it alternative chords. Just because I do a 1 chord here doesn't mean I'm going to be in that major. I may be in that minor, or I may be in this, what we're going to call this, B flat major 9, or C sus 13, as Cody App sees it. But but you see, the left hand has to become so familiar with what you want to do musically that it's a matter of how long do you want to stay in that pattern. So you learn different patterns, and I've shown you 3 different ones. Let's show you one of the ones that I like to use. The 1, 3, 4, sharp to 4, 5, and then back down. As you can see, the fingers just drop in place. Sharpen the 4, and right down the scale. So with a rhythm, this is just practice. And you're just working the rhythm, or legato. If you get tired, sharpen it. So that's one pattern that you can use. The other pattern I like to use is when I like to float around. So there's the float to the 5. 1, 3, 6, flat to 6, 5, 6, flat 7, 7. And these are patterns. These are patterns that I will pull out while I'm playing at any given time. If we had a rhythm there, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and. As you can see, the left hand stays around the keys. Hit that E. I hit that E. Remember? A. And. So as you can see, as you begin to create patterns that you can feel comfortable with, then it's a matter of when are you going to pull them out. Now I'm still in the 1 for those that are the that like to know, well, what are you doing in the 1? What are you doing in the 4? If I were to go to the F, which is in the 4, then that would do the same patterns. Same exact pattern. And what I've been harping on, if you can play in the key of C, the key of G is the same muscle memory locations. This G for your thumb here is the same G, the same positioning here. The same, if you were to look at it like this, let me see. They both go up together, and they both go down together. They both go, let me see. Go down. There it is. Same muscle memory for both of those keys, and you'll find that many keys that you play in also have that same designation. So again, we're looking at, let me see the example they gave us. In the example, key of C, practice the bass line that walks from C1 to F4 to G and back to C using chromatic notes like, okay, that's what we did. Let me clean that up a little bit. As you can see the rest of that there. There we go. Using C, E, F, F sharp, G, A, B flat, C. So these are the notes that you're going to have available to you. Now, a bass player, of course, has only 4 strings, but they have the ability to float amongst those 4 strings when they're playing to give you the sound that they're doing. If you want to be able to mimic a bass player, you have to think like a bass player with 5 fingers. So let's look at speed it up a little bit. We're talking about shout. We'll go to 130, 130. Those same patterns. Four. G. Bass player thinking. All practice. Mr. C. I'm looking at, that's why I'm messing. So as you can see, so many different variations that you could put in the context of playing bass. Well, we're not going to keep this one long. We've had a lot of long videos recently. I may revisit the bass hand for other keys, but now, in fact, let me do that. When you're forming your own particular bass patterns, you want to build your bass notes around the chords. Now they recommend the 1, the 4, and the 5. I run it around the 6, the 2, 5. I'll do the flat 7th for bass patterns. I'll even go into alternative keys just to be able to change up what's happening. Now what do I mean by that? Here's the 1, the 4, the 5, and you see my chords all stay here. So it's like I build a song to support a bass pattern. So now I'm thinking like a jazz musician would, moving around chords. Left hand. Now I can block into a pattern, a minor pattern. Change pattern. All in the one. Going through the 4. To the 2, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, 6, flat 7, that's it. And back to the pattern. Could be major. And to the stop. There we go. I missed my button. So patterns. Develop a pattern that you can build chords around, almost creating your own song with the bass patterns that you can use. Now we have 6 more, 10 things the church musicians should practice, and we're going to get to them. We're supposed to have been done through the summer. We had a little bit of a hiccup there with a little bit of illness, but we're feeling a lot better now, and we are going to get to the rest of those 10 things that a church pianist should practice. Thanks for watching Sam Tober Sound of Joy Music Services. As always, you leave a thumbs up if you like these videos. Don't subscribe to us if you haven't subscribed yet. Hit that notification bell, and as always, leave a comment. See you on our next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.